Welcome everyone to another episode of Unscripted Coding. I'm really excited for this one because I think we're going to build a pretty solid project today involving, as you can imagine, GPT as well. Very quickly here, you'll see that we have chat-gpt and you can ask it to do all sorts of things. But one thing I've been asking it to do more recently is actually interact with websites. This is a very simple Google form sample here, and I'm just going to go into the developer tools, edit the HTML, and I'm going to paste into ChatGPT. Going to say, hey, can you write me some some JavaScript console code to fill out the following form with dummy data. And the idea here is really to give you a sample of what we can do. This is not exactly what you might do. You might have some data, you might transform that data, you might pull that data from a PDF. But for now, we're going to ask ChatGPT to write some JavaScript code to fill out this form with dummy values. And so, if I take this code, and you'll see this form is not filled out in any way, I'm going to paste it in here into the console and click enter, and we filled out a bunch of things on this form. Pretty simple idea here is that ChatGPT is capable, very capable now, of writing code that you can run on your console for web browsers that will interact with the page in different ways. The problem is, for the average end user, they're not going to know what I'm talking about when I say pull up the elements, copy the HTML code, paste into ChatGPT, ask it for console code, whatever. None of that is going to make any sense to the average person. And so what I want to do today is create a little simple Chrome extension where this will all be automated. So if I click a button, it will automatically capture all of the HTML, send it off to ChatGPT or GPT via API, ask it to generate some sort of code and return it. And I might have different fields in that box. We'll see what that looks like. But that is the general gist of it. I think it's a really simple idea. I think we're going to build something that could be really useful once tweaked in a lot of workplaces. And so just to fill out the imagination a little bit here, this is not hyper useful, but what can be useful is if I had a tab here where you can upload a PDF. You can upload a picture of your driver's license. You could upload a picture of a scanned form. And it will pull up a page and you can use that scanned form to fill it out. So, you know, maybe this is a government form that you have to fill out over and over and over. You could just grab it from your driver's license or your passport and immediately fill out the form as you go. Lots of different ways you can use this. I'm going to stop talking and we're going to get the initial setup started first. Okay, for step one of these Chrome extensions, we've done this before in a previous video, is download the simple extension off GitHub. And so there's a bunch of different functional samples that you can grab. And so what I've done is just copied these four into a folder. What we're going to do is go into the extensions menu of Chrome, enable developer mode, load the folder in, and you're going to see your extension here. Now, obviously, I have way too many extensions here, but if we click the hi hello world extension, you're going to see a very simple page right here that says hello extensions. We're going to be examining this very quickly, but we'll say hello world instead. And I think there is a way to reload the extension. So we will go reload, we'll come back here, click hi, and we get hello world instead this time around. I'm going to stop talking again, and we are going to get to the meat and bones of it. But really, what's going to happen is we have a nice simple menu, and we have some JavaScript code. Together, these are going to interact with the page, and we're going to be able to read off this page, send things off to OpenAI, and we're going to come back here, come back to this page and interact with it. All of it is with JavaScript and HTML anyway, so you don't need to switch between languages or do anything super difficult. All right, we're ready for another really quick update. You'll see that I've been using chat-gpt, and I'm just going to refresh the form. This is not normal behavior right here. There's no console log that starts, no pop-up if I went into Google Forms normally, but this is because of this plugin that's happening. So if I refresh again, you'll see that it spits out all of the HTML of this page, and then it's going to alert me of a response from OpenAI. So nothing useful yet, but it's doing two things here. It's reading the page, and it's also sending and getting a response back from OpenAI. We've really done very little here. First of all, API key, you can try and copy this up, but I'm going to remove the key as soon as I'm done this video anyways. But this is the OpenAI API key. This reads the document and gets all of the HTML, and then it console logs it. It logs it into a console, and that's why we see the HTML code behind this page. Following that, it's going to make a standard fetch request from OpenAI. And for now, we're going to use, GPT-4o. We said, you're a helpful assistant, hello, and we wait for a response back. And so if I refresh again, you're going to get that, hello, how can I assist you today? Now, if I switch this up and say, hello, what is the capital of Canada? We can go into extensions, refresh it, and then we're going to run it again, and the alert should say something different. The capital of Canada is Ottawa. How can I assist you further? So now we have these two pieces. A couple of different things I want to do is I want to not run it automatically. I want it to run when I click a button here. But the other thing is I want a menu here in which I can put additional fields so that the user can actually submit something useful that will then be parsed by OpenAI and then added to this sample form. So multiple pieces here. We are going to edit this page here. We're going to add some form fields, and we're also going to tweak what is sent to OpenAI and make use of the response more than just copy and paste alerts and console logs. Okay, so let's walk through what we have here. Basically, I struggled quite a bit with this one, and I ran into a couple unexpected, I probably should expect it, but unexpected hurdles, where at this point I think we went down the wrong path, and I should revisit this in a different way entirely. So, let's go with a demonstration really quickly first of the solution we have. Of course, we have a nameless extension, your extension name. And if I go into this Google form and just refresh, I can, sorry, yes, I did refresh it. I can click into my extension and click Fill Form. And I gave instructions to change all of the text to Hello World. Now, it's not perfect since it missed this one, but still, not bad given that it is plain English instructions that says, please switch all the text to Hello World. Now, it seems to work fine, but it's very finicky right now, and there are a number of reasons for it. First and foremost, how we tried to achieve this is we created an extension, JavaScript, in which we took all of the HTML of this page, and we also gave it some instructions. For text questions, please put down Hello World, and for choices, only pick number 1. We combined these two together and sent it off to OpenAI and asked it to write some plain JavaScript code for a browser console. Here's the web page. Here are my instructions. Please give me some JavaScript code. Once we get a response, we essentially go through a couple hurdles here to run eval. That means that you get all of this code as a string, and you're going to run it the string. And so, of course, this could be very, very, very dangerous. If I had any sort of extension here and just had a text box and allowed any user to run code with eval, especially for a more complex app, we can wreak all sorts of havoc here. And so, understandably, in the V3 latest version of extensions, this is just not allowed. And since this is phasing out literally tomorrow, the day after I'm recording this, it didn't make much sense to keep going. This functionality just isn't available moving forward anyways. In this case, I decided to move back a version. It's still a day before it gets phased out, so I moved it to version 2. And even then, we had to sandbox it a little bit, just divert into this content.js file, come back. Frankly, I didn't even understand all of it. I had chat-gpt kind of answer questions and try and fix based on the errors I was getting. But it's incredibly janky because something I wanted to do before I wrapped this video up was remove a text box, right? Add a text box right here where you can have custom instructions. As you know, right now in the pop-up, I have this hard-coded into my code. Up here, so it's hello world every time. A user might want to fill out names, might want to give more detailed instructions, whatever it may be. But for whatever reason, adding a text area into this pop-up seems to destroy the whole flow. And I couldn't really figure out why, and ChatGPT didn't have a ready answer either. My guess is this whole thing is on, just Jenga'd up together anyways, because we're trying to get around security. So, long story short, we kind of have a working extension. This isn't going to be available or useful for very long because, Chrome is going to remove it very quickly. If I were to try and rebuild this, now that I understand that, I think it's actually still very simple. And I might do this in another video, although frankly I'm a little annoyed with how difficult this was. I thought this would be smooth sailing. Anyways, going back to my original point, this question will be much easier. Instead of asking for just console code that you can run right off the bat, depending on the purpose, I can reframe the question so that it returns safer things for me to add into the code. And one example is getting a JSON response. That's generally the best way to do it, but how I might do it is a JSON response that has all of the CSS selectors. So instead of just running console, not console, but running in console, document, search for this CSS, when you find it, change a text, I'm just going to ask ChatGPT for some sort of pairing where it's like, here's the identifier, and this is what we want to change a value to. Here's the identifier, change a value to. It becomes a bit more involved because I can't just rely entirely on ChatGPT to adapt to various different forms. But I think for the most part, if we capture the text areas, text inputs, checkboxes, those three, you're probably going to get 80-90% of the form anyways in a much safer, much more reasonable, and a v3 compliant extension. But as it stands right now, there are so many barriers, I don't think it was worthwhile for me to keep running down this path. It did require just rethinking very quickly, how do we do this in a safer way? So I hope that was interesting, watching me kind of bang my head against a wall, because clearly I didn't think this through. But that's programming sometimes. You run into a wall, and then you learn a lot along the way. Eval is useful, but there are limitations. Different versions of the Chrome extensions have different restrictions, and in our case, I think there is a better solution to this, a more secure one. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again on this channel very soon. Bye.